Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks face off against Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they loved their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Garoppolo on 1st down. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
The wide receiver Marquise Goodwin showed in 2017 he's more than just an Olympic long jumper. Showed more facets to his game. Not just a long ball threat either. Could catch it underneath. Nearly 1,000 yards in receiving. And had more catches last season than his 4 years combined in Buffalo.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Able to push his way through. Goodwin able to haul it in. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And Oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Garoppolo now. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 8 catches, 78 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Garoppolo again. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Taylor. And he'll go down at the 28. Garoppolo and the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That's good for a Niner 1st down. Garoppolo to Garcon.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis from 8 yards out. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. To throw is Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
That 1st down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. This is Kerwin Williams, his first carry. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson completes it to Dixon. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and boy, he's been good. They go play action with Wilson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 23 yards on the play. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the...
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They go back to the ground now with Penny, and he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They'll try and run for it with Penny, and he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back, not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Here's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Wilson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Solomon Thomas in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. The first carry down for Rex Burkhead. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the 1st half. It's a 1st down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 1:59 to go in the 1st half. Back with more after this. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Now it's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Trey Madden, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They use their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow You can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 6 there on first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screen.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to air this out for both. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to fire one deep. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And Janikowski bangs it through. So we've come upon halftime.
Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their play ball. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Wilson. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
14.
From the shotgun, Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he's got Lockett. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a first down carry is Williams. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, he tried to pitch it and the ball's loose. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Throwing is Wilson. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Penny, a first down carry. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeForest Buckner in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And pressure gets to him again. Reuben Foster in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And Dixon has it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
A handoff to Penny, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Byron Maxwell. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Over the middle, complete. It's Baldwin. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
14.
Wilson. The intended target, Doug Baldwin, and it's 3rd and short. So pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down of the yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Oh, look at this play call. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out to kick is Janikowski. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams really fear the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Shamarko Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. DeForest Buckner, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Operating from the gun, Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to...
Now 49er pressure, and they get it. It's blocked.
Well, if you were ever wondering, should I believe my special teams coach about, these plays are valuable? Think no more. Huge play, big block, and now they've set up their offense inside the 10-yard line. A chance to score.
The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. So a great special teams play. They blocked the punt, and excellent field position, 1st and goal. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Pierre Garçon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are back within a score. So they get the score, partner. Game's not over, but they still need some help here.
Agreed, they definitely need some help, but they took care of the first part by scoring themselves.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Gold now out to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond with what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Following the penalty, it's Williams. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the...
And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He gets this one to Garcon. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Oh, Wilson going to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Throwing now is Wilson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 5. And it's a 2nd down. The 49ers moving hastily. They're scurrying to the line. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And for the defense, their third sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were on the field, but okay, I see you. And no, it's incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on fourth down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
Get
right?
your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a one-point victory. And they're really trying to build something. Beginning of the year, they said they thought 8 wins was a number to reach to call this season a success, and this win means they got there.
I like where you went with that, building something. Not every team is going to be equipped to win 10, 12, 14 games in a season. Know your team, know your personnel. Now that they've accomplished that goal, I think they'll set their number a little bit higher in the upcoming years. You